Hello everyone. In this segment of the video, we will discuss the remaining parts of speech. And in the previous video, we have already discussed about nouns, pronouns and adjectives. Today we will discuss about verbs and adverbs. So you know that all the actions that you do is verb. Sleep, walk, talk, listen, study, play. Any action that you think, even if you're thinking, this is also an action. So, all these things are verb. So, the definition is words that are used to express actions, event, or state of being are called verbs. For example, Meera goes to school. Now, here, go. Go, the word go here tells you about an action, right? It's telling you about an action that is performed by Meera. So, Meera is noun, and noun is performing one action that is go, going to school. Okay, Meera goes to school. Here the word goes is an action performed by the noun. So this word go is a verb. Now another example, she writes a letter. So she is performing an action that is of writing letter. She writes a letter. So this word writes is an action and it is a verb. Meera sings a song. Now singing is also an action. So Meera sings. This word sings. Now in your book, if you see the definition of verbs, it's written words that are used to express action, event. Now till here you have understood about action and event. After that, it's written state of being are called verbs. Now, what is the meaning of state of being? It means who or what a noun is or was or will be. For example, Meera is a doctor. Now, here, this word is telling you about the state of Meera. What is Meera? Meera is a doctor. So, these words am, is, are, was, were are verbs that tell us how or what a person, thing, or place is. Girls are fine. Now, here, how the girls are, they are fine. This word are tells us about the state of girls. So, these words am, is, are, was, were are verbs that tell us how or what a person, thing, or place is. These are the forms of be. Be. Am, is, are, was, were are forms of be. You have studied in class 5 about this. And these words are also known as auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Now let's talk about adverb. In the previous video, I told you about adjectives. That adjectives tells us more about noun, right? So adverbs tells us more about a verb, adjective and other adverbs. For example, she drives carefully. Now, drives here, this word is an action, and carefully, the word carefully tells us about how the person is driving. So it is adding more something, it is adding something to the meaning of the verb, how the person is driving. Adverbs answer to the questions of how, when, where, to what extent. For example, how an action happens. Mira walks quickly. How she is walking? She is walking quickly. She wrote beautifully. How she wrote? Beautifully. The dog wagged his tail happily. So, an adverb tells us about how an action happens. Next is when or how often something happens. For example, yesterday I met my friend. When did you meet your friend? Yesterday I met my friend. I regularly meet my friends. So how often you are meeting to your friends? Regularly. At what interval? It's asking what interval means regularly. Okay? I never speak ill about others. So never is telling us about how often. So the person is saying never. Same way, the words like always and now also tell us about how often something happens or when something happens. Next is where something happens, the place. The place. But now don't get confused with noun because noun also is a name of a place. Where do you live? I live in Gorakhpur. So this is also where. This is also talking about the place. Okay? But here the name of the place is noun. And these words like outside, inside, near, up, down is not a name of a place. For example, look up, come down, play outside, go inside. These words, up, down, outside, inside, telling us where the action is happening. Come outside. Now, come is a verb, and outside, come outside. So, this word outside is telling us about where this action has to be taken place. So, outside is adverb. To what extent something happens? Meaning of extent is the range over which something extends, like very angry, extremely happy. The work is almost done. That news is hardly surprising. When I said very angry, now here the word angry is an adjective, right? And very is telling us about the degree to what range the person is angry. Very angry, right? So this word very is telling us what extent to what extent the person is angry. Hardly surprising. So word surprising is adjective. So how surprising it is? It is hardly surprising. Hardly means certainly not. Extremely happy. Almost done. Done is verb and work is almost done. Done is verb and almost means very nearly but not exactly. Very nearly. So these words, questioning words like how, when, where, to what extent, these, when you get answer of these questions, the answer that you get is an adverb. Again, I will repeat, an adverb adds something to the meaning of verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. I hope everything is clear to you. And still, if you have any doubt, you can call into questions. Thank you.